pretty good sized bonefish on the Ghetto Superfly Waipualani Special Yellow Eyes, and 1/4 inch thick, and it freaking worked. Look at the Instagram, you'll see the footage from today. Weather's been kind of iffy here in Hawaii with all these storms that have been coming through, but managed to pull it off. In the beginning, it was basically ugly weather, and it got better and better and better. And basically, it gave us a 2-hour window where we could see, and then a thunderstorm came in. But that's all. We saw a total of 4 bonefish today and hooked 1. So that was cool. Right here I got the Ghetto Superfly that I'm tying right quick. Got to get these kids out of the house, but I got a couple orders that I got to get out.
Yeah, you can't throw it.
And while these kids go nuts in the house for a second before I get them out of the house, we're gonna definitely get this order together, tie this Ghetto Superfly up real quick, and get the heavier Ghetto Superfly together, because that's the one they're going to be people use for with the spin rods. So it's all about weight in Hawaii, especially when you're dealing with surf, strong currents, etc. So if you hear anything in the background, it's probably the kids going nuts. That's what happens when you got kids. Freaking. And you're a fly fishing dude. You know, once a commercial fisherman turned to a fly fisherman, started to release fish. Nobody, who does that? I guess I do now. But prior to that, fish were not being released at all. Anyways, but the Ghetto Superfly, super effective. The #1 fly, selling fly in Hawaii right now. Guarantee, hands down. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. And I appreciate all you guys' support out there, but it makes sense, right? You want to get a fly that catches fish, so why not, right? Might as well get the fly that works. And, you know, if we catch fish and you see us catching fish, it's kind of better than going to a fly store and, you know, you kind of, you got all the flies to choose from, and you hear that they work, but you never seen them work before, so that's the difference. Yeah, man. We got a household right now, and it's getting wild. Kids are ready to get out of the house, man.
Yeah, I'm not. I want to stay.
No, we're leaving.
Yay! Wait, one more round? I want to go trampoline park.
Yeah, we are. That's going to show you guys how to do the gainer this time.
That's okay. I got it. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Pride myself in being the oldest guy out there, busting backflip, front flips, and showing my kids what's up.
No, you gotta hide first.
Got to stay active, stay healthy.
Go hide first and then
So these kids can't run around and think they got you. Maybe later on when I get a little bit older, they can get me, but not right now. Yeah, so this fly in particular, the Ghetto Superfly, mimics mantis shrimp. So when mantis shrimp swim across the bottom, they're kind of going smoothly as they swim, right across the bottom. If they notice that something's chasing them, they'll book it out of the spot in 2.7 seconds. So when a fish is creeping up on this fly that's moving constantly through the water, what happens is the fish kind of thinks, oh, wow, I got the element of surprise on this fly or this mantis shrimp, and I'm gonna catch them. And that's exactly what we want too. The element of surprise for that bonefish. And if you start erratically stripping this fly all over the place, the mantis shrimp, the bonefish, they're lazy fish. They don't want to freaking work hard for their prey. So it kind of just helps. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me amongst the kids screaming and yelling in the house, but it is what it is. This is real life.
That's full on cheating, bro. Hey, bro, literally, she's not cheating, guys. No, she's not even.
The #1 fly out there. Yeah, today's fish, man. Literally, we saw I'm in Maui right now. We saw 4 bonefish total.
She's not even
And
she's just going full on, and she knows everything.
fly fishing opens in 38 days in Maine. That's pretty cool.
She knows the house better.
4 fish today, and we saw 1 giant GT that came right by the ladders that we were fishing on, and it was pretty cool, man. Managed to pull it off with inclement weather. The first 2 hours were literally blind casting, and for me, blind casting is like grabbing your nails and putting it across a chalkboard. That's how much I love blind casting. I don't love it. Yeah, so Ghetto Superfly is rocking. Sunday, probably 1:30 over here in Hawaii. Temperature's right, everything's right. And right now I'm just trimming the fly because you want that boxy shape whenever you're making this fly, because that's what the mantis shrimp kind of look like. They're a rectangular shape on the bottom, kind of small, and yeah. But the next fly I'm gonna make is the Ghetto Superfly, but I'm gonna use these super heavy eyes. Okay, and this is for the spin casters out there, and I'm gonna put lead on the hook as well. I use a size 4 Gamakatsu hook, and I wrap it with lead wire, just to give it a more weight when these guys cast. And you know, when you're using a spinner rod, you really want to use the heavy but thin line. Trout, nah, fly fishing, is there trout in Hawaii? Nah. Well, yes, I think there is. I think there's trout in Oahu and Kauai, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I guess there are trout in Hawaii. I've never personally fished for a trout in Hawaii, but I know other people have. Once you start fishing for bonefish, everything else is like, I don't know. I just don't have the patience for fishing for anything else, man. Because, I don't know. If you've ever fished for bonefish, chased bonefish around the flats, you kind of understand where I'm coming from. There's nothing like it. I mean, you're hunting these bonefish down, and when you see the bonefish, you got to make the right cast. You have to make the right, basically, everything has to be presented well, right? Otherwise, the difference between you catching a fish and not catching a fish is like, yeah, it's definitely something that it's different, man. So for those of you guys who had the opportunity to chase bonefish, you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from as far as chasing bonefish in Hawaii. Now, what I did is I did a couple layers of this wire wrap, and I'll lay it on pretty thick. I'll do the first couple layers flat, and I'll wrap the back here just a little bit. And I'm using the Norvise right now. It makes things a lot easier because you can get the bobbin out of the way here pretty easy. And then so I'll wrap this back area and just use all the wire. The heavier the fly, the better for the spin casters out there. So basically, you take the Ghetto Superfly, make it heavier, and the spin casters have a shot at catching these massive bonefish. Now, we got 2 challenges out there right now. Coastal Sunglasses has definitely given us a few prizes to give out, and one of the challenges is the Big Island Bonefish Challenge. So at first, it was only opened up to fly fishermen, and then I opened it up to spin fishermen as well. And basically, the spin fishermen, if you use an artificial lure or you catch it on the fly, a bonefish on the Big Island, this contest has been going on for probably about 5-6 months now. I'll send you the first person to catch a bonefish will get a free pair of Grand Catalinas. by Coastal Sunglasses. That's one of the competitions we have going on. It's lasted a pretty long time right now. And then the next competition we have is the milkfish challenge. First person to land a milkfish on a fly rod will also get a free pair of Grand Catalinas as well. Now we got some questions here. It's from Sebastian. Never fish bonefish, but I live in Montana, mostly trout here, cutthroat, rainbows, and brown trout. Sick. I've done DIY bonefish in Hawaii. Chris Chong, done DIY bonefish in Hawaii. Haven't gotten one yet. Got to book a trip with you. Solid, bro. So back to Sebastian. Plenty of fly shops around here. Head out and saltwater fish, especially down in Florida. That's sick too, dude. Sandler. Adam Sandler. Yeah, I know Adam Sandler. I got his phone number too, believe it or not. He's solid. And yeah, I guided Adam Sandler one time. And that guy is super funny. I took him to actually Pearl Harbor of all places. So that was pretty neat experience. And the guy is very personable and a really good dude.
Tell me if I touch this though.
This fly's a little thick, but it is what it is because of the extra weight we put on it, right? Able to get it out there, get it to the bottom quick, which is exactly what you got to do. Okay, see how thick that is? That adds a lot of extra weight. That's the weight that you need. Now we got this massive fly, but before that, we're gonna add a couple lines to the back.
Yeah, but don't tie me, okay?
And made with the good old Sharpie. The Sharpies don't run. Some of the other fly marking devices, the ink will run. Sharpie doesn't, so that's a good thing. You don't want the ink running all over the EP fiber. So I'm using just straight EP fiber here. And you want to kind of get it deep because what happens is you just want that contrast. And in order to get it, you got to get it through all the different layers of, what do you call, EP fiber, right? So kind of just lay it on there best you can. There we go. Looking good. Okay, so you got that contrast there. Super rad. Yeah, man. So right here, what I'll do is a lot of times when you cut the fly, the tail off, you want it to be about the same length as the shank of the hook. So I'll probably go around here, maybe a little bit more, not too much more. Now I'm gonna put my eye on right in front of this little nub, right? I mean, not the fly, the dumbbell eyes, the heavier ones, biggest ones I can find. Lead painted dumbbell eyes, and look at that thing just coming to life right now. I'm sure this will catch all kinds of fish, but you can use these for the spin rod. I gotta make 2 of these and 1 of the tan.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. It's gonna take a couple minutes, but bro, we'll be jumping all day, okay?
Hey, where was it?
Freaking, these kids are freaking awesome. Hey, why don't you guys clean the dishes? We're gonna get excuses right now, guarantee.
Aaliyah, clean up the mess.
Oh, clean up the mess. Hey guys, clean the house, in fact.
No.
Yeah.
Dad, please.
What, you want me to do it?
We can do it sometime other than now.
You guys are doing homework tonight.
What?
Well, you don't have homework?
No.
Well, you should have homework. I don't know why the teacher doesn't give you homework.
Aaliyah has homework.
Oh, Elia has homework. Okay. At least one of you guys have homework. It's a good thing. Okay. So now I'm going to put this bobbin out to the side with the Norvise. I'm going to basically take one of these things and these things. I did a doubling loop. I'm going to spin the shit out of this. Right? Okay, there we go. Oh, sorry, not supposed to swear. But you'll notice that a few of my videos have swear words on it. And the more you spin it, the more it sticks on there. And I like using the dubbing loop instead of just kind of like wrapping it around the line. It just sticks in there better, and it's just better all around. In fact, it's just what you should do. You don't need a lot. You just need a little bit to get that, cover up all that extra lead, give a body to it. And add more here. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right, that's good to go. We're gonna lock it in. Most expensive fly? Shit, I don't know. This is pretty expensive, but it's, you know, when I was asked to tie these flies, I mean, I sell these flies at $10 a piece. And the reason why I sell them at $10 a piece, because, you know, I'm tying them myself, and it has to be worth my time, right? And $10 a piece is worth my time. So, because it takes about, I mean, it takes a while to tie one of these flies, and you know, you gotta make sure you sell them. I don't know. I guess the most expensive flies would be those flies that they use for GTs and stuff, right? You know, you're looking at $20 a fly sometimes. You know, this fly, the reason why it's the price too is because this is where, you know, a lot of DIYers come to Hawaii, don't know what fly to use. Well, this fly right here is where your dream starts, right? You have a dream to catch a bonefish? Well, if you don't have the right fly, and there's instructions that come with this fly on how to use it. So, I mean, that's pretty good, right? Imagine you get a fly, you don't know how to use it, you cast it out, you strip it in every time, and maybe that's not the way it's supposed to be used. Different environments, you adjust the fly and the way you use it many times. So because this fly has been used so many times, it caught so many fish, and there's instructions, I guess the price kind of makes sense in itself. Yeah. What, you guys are fighting?
It's just Haya was cheating.
Oh, Haya was cheating.
You never said I couldn't. No, we said that from the start. We said no going
We got
in the
action in the household.
kitchen.
The Christians in the household, there's action.
We can go in the kitchen. No, we can't. Aaliyah.
I said no kitchen, but that's okay.
You guys can go in the kitchen and clean it.
Bro, Haya just hid this and it's mine. Bro.
Uh-oh. We got to get these kids out of the house. Tie a couple more flies. Maybe I'll tie some of these at the trampoline park. Says I have a portable.
Nah, you just sell them at the trampoline park.
Just start slinging them to like people that don't even fly fish.
Yeah.
Huh. Ain't that a concept? These guys are winners. I teach them, you know, they got to hustle. They got to work hard. Knowledge and being smart about things. And work hard. There we go. So one of these flies is done. Got it. And then you got to trim it right after you're done with this. Chris Chung, when you sight fishing bones, are you looking for tails, shadows, or figures? Oh, that's a good question. So, shadows, yeah. I mean, I look for everything, right? But predominantly, you're going to see the fish. And once your eyes get acclimatized or conditioned to see these fish, you get a lot better at it. The backs of these fish are green. So green backs, right? So when the light hits the water, it's gonna shine a different way. Now, if the sun is low, they're gonna look a different color, and the color will change depending on the sky cover and the light that's hitting the water and the direction it's hitting the water. And it's to get better and better at it, you gotta be able to see the fish in all different elements. So it's not necessarily, the tail is a dead giveaway. You'll see the tail in 2.7 seconds as it in skinny water, but when the water's deeper, you're not going to have that luxury of seeing the tail. So sometimes the shadow will catch my eye, but most times it's the greenbacks and the movement of these greenbacks. And that's how I see the flies. So you see how big this fly is? I mean, it's pretty giant. I put epoxy, the solar res, not the solar res, but this is UV clear fly finishing flow. And yeah, it's game changer. And when I trim, I'll trim the top right here, right across, right where the hook is. Okay, so make everything kind of square. And I'll come up the sides, just trim that side. I got a video out there on YouTube of what these flies look like in the water. We did it the other day. People were asking for a while. And if you check it out, you can see it. But you know, it's different angles too, yeah. So I haven't really done an extensive amount of videos for all the different angles that this fly is swimming. Sometimes this EP fiber kind of sticks together. There we go. Okay, here we go. Right up one side. Then what I do is I'll go here, and too much of this will not allow the bonefish to hook. So what I'll do is I'll go right across in the middle and just cut. Okay? And now that gives it an extra room for the fish to get hooked there. Now also what I do is I will allow the eyes here. You want these eyes to be able to rotate and move. A lot of people are like, oh, the eyes move, it's a shitty fly. Not this fly. If the way you think about it is, if you have a super rigid eyes on it and it can't move, when it hits the side of a bonefish mouth or whatever, it has the potential, if it doesn't move, it has the potential to pop right off the bonefish, or in some cases break the hook. So these eyes moving left to right, it's a good thing. It puts a lot less pressure on the hook itself. So that one's done. Bonefish fly for the casters. It's about what is that, 5 grams. So you can cast it out pretty far with the right setup. So I gotta make a couple more of these. What's that fly called? This is the Ghetto Superfly. So if you type it into Google, there's a bunch of stuff that comes up on the Ghetto Superfly and its amazingness, etc. And it works, man. That's the biggest thing. What's your go-to sunglass lens color when fly fishing in Hawaii? Great question. Go-to sunglasses while fishing here in Hawaii is, I like the Golden Mirrors by Costa Sunglasses. Those things are easy on the eyes. Everything pops. Also the copper, those work. Sunrise works, but those, so it would be Golden Mirror, then you go, but it has a copper base, and then copper sunglasses, green mirrors. Those are freaking money, freaking lenses for spotting these fish in the wild. And that's what you want to do. I don't know, once you fish these fish, right, you really don't want to fish anything else. There's something about fishing for bonefish in Hawaii. Like, went to Colorado recently, got to fish with my boy Tyler. I didn't, like, it doesn't appeal to me, fishing freshwater, because I don't know. I've done it a couple times, but once you fish for bonefish, bro, there's nothing like it, yeah. And you know, I'm lucky to have that luxury to fish for bonefish all the time. Not everybody does, and yeah, so I guess I'm spoiled in that regards. There we go, coming across the top. Again, I'm putting an extra weight for those guys that are using spinner rods and they're casting out just the fly, and it kind of gives more access to a lot more people that are getting into bone fishing using artificial flies, because really nobody else makes it in Hawaii. Artificial flies for spin rods, yeah. So I guess this would be it, which is cool. I know they have it all over the place in the Florida and stuff, but here in Hawaii, this is what we got. Ooh, come on. There we go. Heavy, heavy fly for a freaking giant fish. Yeah, you always want to have lead wire when you're, anytime you're tying flies, because you never know when you have to make a little bit more weight or whatever. What are the best conditions to fish for bones? High, low tide, low to high. I'm assuming no wind, sun is for, nah, you need wind. So that's the first mistake. A lot of people believe that, you need no wind. It's actually harder to fish for bonefish when there's no wind. So what happens is it gets super glassy, right? And that super glassy conditions make it very difficult to get closer to the fish when you're casting. So you want, and it's harder to see the fish, because if you can imagine a super flat surface, the sun beating down at an angle of 30 degrees or 45 degrees, and the sun's not penetrating through the water because it's so flat, it becomes almost impossible to see fish too. So that little chop on the water gives a little rise to it, so that sun coming down will go right to the bottom of the, and you can see what's in the water. So that's important. The second part of your thing is best conditions. You just got to get out there. Number one thing you got to do is you got to get out there and go fish, any condition. Now, granted, you want to know how to cast. You want to know how to do the double haul. Double hauls are super important, especially if you want to increase your chances of catching these bonefish, because the difference between catching a bonefish and not catching a bonefish sometimes is 1 yard, 3 yards. And a lot of times, we'll get out there and all we need is 3 more yards on the cast. And if you can't get 3 more yards on the cast because the wind is slightly blowing at you at 30 knots, then you're not going to catch that bone. And let's say you have a condition day where, like last week, we had 30 knot winds, easy 30 knot winds. And later in the evening, we had to cast into the wind in order to catch these bonefish. Now I can cast into the wind, not a problem. With an 8 weight and just freaking punch it through the wind. But a lot of individuals aren't used to that, and I call that the humbling factor. So everybody's good until they get to Hawaii, or they get to a place where the winds are high and stuff like that. Yeah, and when you're trying to punch it like 25 feet or 10, 15 yards into the wind, when the winds are 25 to 30 knots, it is, most people can't do it. So it, for me, I got to angle it, try to get to a certain spot. And if the winds are coming at you, sun's behind you, and glare is all behind you, you only have one option, and that's to cast into the wind. And that was what was happening last week. And, I try to make the best casting situation for whoever I'm with when I'm guiding out there. And but sometimes it's just hard, and sometimes I got to make the cast, right? And it's not a fault on any of the fishermen. It's just that it's you have to set those expectations that you gotta to increase your chances of catching a bone. You gotta know how to cast. Do you have to know how to cast? No, we can still catch bones, but it helps. Now, low to high tide. Low to high tide is something that it doesn't really matter. high to low, low to high, flat tides, whatever. For the most part, it's what conditions we can fish. On high tide, we can't see any of the fish in the deeper water, deeper flats, because it's deep. So we want the tide to drain so we can start seeing the fish. Fish are still there. Now, granted, there's areas that the fish will flow to in the incoming tide and high outgoing tide, and all the different spots on the island are all different. And you got to know how to fish the tides on all the different spots. Now, if you're a DIYer coming to Hawaii, then you know there's challenges in that in itself. But if you're a DIYer, you got to look at the tide and you fish all day if you want to increase your chances of catching a bone. Knowledge is everything when you're chasing bonefish in Hawaii, and that's why people hire guides. You know, there's numerous occasions where individuals have been here for 3-4 years, hadn't caught in a bonefish. They call me up. They're like, "Hey, Makani, yeah, you know, I've been trying to catch bonefish here for like a few years." You know, they watch the videos and stuff like that. Yeah, I need advice. And you know, that advice changes the day. They go from not catching fish for 2 years, and then the next day they hook their first bonefish on their own. So information, knowledge is key. And you know, for us, taking guys out there, we're basically passing on that knowledge to whoever comes with us. Those years and years and years and years and months of experience, and trying to catch a bone within the time slot that we have. It's not always easy. It's not always guaranteed, but I tell you what, you increase your odds a lot rather than doing it yourself. But those are the challenges that, you know, you face. Anytime you come to Hawaii, it's definitely, yeah, it's fun, dude, but it's challenging. So high, low tides, doesn't really matter. We just want to see the fish more than anything. And, you know, a lot of spots are site where you are specific to the tides that are going to be better or worse for you seeing the fish and the fish actually coming to the flats. Different times of year, you're going to watch the fish. I mean, I could talk about one spot and tell you everything about that one spot for a certain time of year. And then when the fish aren't there, the fish act totally different. So the fish might be like 200 yards down the beach and a little bit harder to catch. So anyway, these are almost done with this one. Getting these orders out right now for the bigger flies. I think I got 2 more to make of these big ones. I'll put the order together, send it out today. And so if you do order flies from us, I get it out pretty quick. Elias and I make these flies. So Elias is aka the Kurupt Hawaiian. So that's the other fly that we make. He makes them. I buy them from him. And then we market the shit out of it and sell it. And marketing is pretty easy. Basically, you catch fish and the fly sells. But, you know, we have these tutorials, I guess, or these videos on how we tie flies and all this information that I'm kind of throwing out there. And, you know, I do want individuals to come out here, have a good time, catch a fish because it's rad. And it's just a rad experience. So, yeah, there's that. All right, so we're throwing a wing on here. These kids are chomping at the bit to get out of here. All right, here we go. And I think it's pretty neat that, you know, I've been able to create an entire business on just making these flies, using these flies, and selling these flies. I didn't think that was a thing back in the day. And, you know, I've been doing this for 18 years now. Before that, I was a commercial fisherman. And And before that, I was in the Marines, fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, went to the Naval Academy. I got kids.
Did you make 2 flies?
I'm almost there, son.
How many flies?
Well, I made 2, but I got to make 2 more.
What? No, you just said I gotta make 2 and then I gotta make
2 different colors. We'll get out there, man.
Hey, wait, what did you just make? Which
This,
did you just make?
that one, and this one's almost done.
Oh, so
2 more, and we're out. Guarantee.
okay.
All right. Yeah, before that, Naval Academy. I am Hawaiian, so, you know, Makani Christensen, dead giveaway. But then again, everybody loves the Hawaiian name. So, you know, nowadays people get kids and they're naming their kids Hawaiian names, which is totally cool. You know, I recommend the name Makani. That's a great name. It means wind in Hawaiian. So, born on Maui, raised on the Big Island. Used to fish in the Hilo Casting Club, ulua fishing or GT fishing from shore. And, you know, fished all my life. And after commercial fishing, I found fly fishing, which is way easier than commercial fishing. And it became a business. Now, as far as tying the flies, you know, I was asked for many years, hey, Makani, you should sell these flies, sell these flies. I was like, nah. And I tell you what, once I opened up the, that I was going to sell these flies, you know, thinking about what would be worth my time, within 30 minutes, I sold like, what, 100 flies? I don't know. Yeah. I sold that many, bro, it was crazy. You can do the math. So I thought that was pretty neat. And ever since then, so about 1.5 years, we've been selling them now and been doing pretty good. But, you know, it's that thing is like, you know, you can make them yourself, but to get the right weight, the right combination, you know, you kind of want to put this fly in your hand. And, you know, I'll teach you how to make them online. You might have to replay the video 1,000 times. I don't know. And go for it. But the weight is key. You want this to balance, and you want the hook shank to be up, okay? Because the fish, when it eats, the mouth is on the bottom, and when you strip it back, it hooks the mouth. If you yank and you do a trout set, the hook goes like this, and you miss the fish. You have more chances of missing the fish. So that was 2. All right, now we're going with the tan color, sandy tan color, whitish sandy color. Use different color. Yeah, sandy, tan. Doesn't matter. They all work. In fact, the sandy color works pretty good too. So when I pull this off the this part, I basically try to ensure that this is about 1/4 inch thick, so just as wide as the ice. The less fiber you use, the faster it sinks, right? So that's that whole concept of making the right weight for the fly that you're using. On my barbless, negative. These fish are so hard to catch, but these barbs on the hook are like super small. I've gone barbless before for these bones, but you figure these bones are eating like freaking crustaceans, mantis shrimp, the whole 9 yards. These fish are already hard to catch. Our fish in Hawaii are super freaking hardy. They're not small. The biggest bonefish that I know that somebody has caught was 28 pounds. Just 2 years ago, not last year, the year before, outside of Maui and the Big Island, this guy caught a 17-pounder. Maui, another 17-pounder was caught. So they're not small. I mean, those fish were all caught dunking. We've hooked big fish out here on the fly rod, lost them. I mean, the biggest bonefish I caught was about 12 pounds. Not super huge, but big enough, right? And it's just fun chasing these fish through the flats and getting a chance. Biggest bonefish on Oahu was 28 pounds. Louis the fish, and that's on a dunking rod outside Bamboo Ridge. So when I say dunking, they're basically casting bait out there, right? Louis the fish caught a 18 pounder. He passed away, Joaquim's dad. Basically, he caught an 18 pounder a few years back using a grub where he cut the tail off because he noticed that, and that was off of Hickam Flats. So Hickam Flats is access military only. They closed it recently because freaking nature, freaking preservation assholes went in there and said the fly fishermen are spreading invasive corals, which is totally not even a freaking thing. They're just picking the lowest hanging fruit. And basically, the military just kind of yielded to whatever they said, which sucks big time. I mean, we had so many letters, so many people, the local people, the veterans writing letters to the command out there. And because the Red Hill incident that happened where there was fuel that leaked into the water table, anything that came up as far as like environmental, the Navy was like, oh, yeah, we'll do that, we'll do this. And it's like, brah. And meanwhile, it makes no sense whatsoever to eliminate fly fishermen or fishermen in general from the area, especially Hickam Flats. Well, anyway, back to the story about Louis the fish. So Louis the fish, there's a spot in Hickam on the left side that all these giant bones were always, and they're still there. Nothing's changed. And these giant bones are all in that area and hard to catch. Now, he goes, he looks, and he sees that in these little ponds, there's sea cucumbers, small sea cucumbers. So what he does, he grabs a hook and grabs one of those curly tail grubs, cuts off the tail, puts it on, puts some super glue on there, and he goes back to Hickam. He waits for one of these massive bonefish to kind of come into the area. He sees it going into this little pond and there's seaweed around it. He casts into the pond and he just lets the grub just kind of float on the bottom, just kind of roll around. And this bonefish takes it, comes into the pond, tails on it, takes it, and he hooks it, brings it in 18 pounds. I kid you not. Now that's a story. Dollar Tree, hey, you know that. The Dollar Tree glasses, you know what? This thing comes in packs of 3. And it works. I got packs of 3 all over the place. Just helps you see, especially when you're getting older. I'm packs of 3. That's right. That's why if you lose one, you can go to any flat surface in my house. You'll probably find one of these glasses. And I only use it for time flies, and reading, and instructions and everything else that is small that you can't see. Nah, I think it's way less than that. $10 for a pack of 3. And these are the glasses, right, that we're talking about. There we go. All right, we need some fiber here. We're gonna put the eye on. Now these will cast pretty good here. Now, well, we don't have Dollar Tree here in Hawaii. We have the local CVS and Long's Drugs. So that's where I got it from, but I know what you meant though. Dollar Tree. Well, that Long's, I don't know if they have cheap stuff, but they have definitely things that you need. This is Hawaii. Nothing's cheap. Everything costs like super expensive. All right, almost done with this one. I'm gonna tie one more and get out of here so I can take these kids out of the house and we can go do something really cool, like jump on a trampoline. You ever see a 46-year-old do flips at the trampoline park that doesn't really do flips all the time? Yeah, this guy. When the young kids come up to you, they're like, "Oh, uncle, wow, you're the oldest guy here doing flips. Everybody else is sitting down on the couch." I was like, "Yeah, bro." That's how we roll here. Just be solid. Freaking jiu-jitsu, whatever, bro. I'm always in. I remember when I was a little younger and in my 30s, I was like, you know what? I was drinking Coors Light on the couch one day, and my roommate at the time, I just got out of the Marine Corps, and my roommate, he's like, "Oh, we're watching Iron Man on TV," and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And he goes, "It's the Iron Man. I'm training for this right now." I was like, "Fuck, you know what? I'm gonna do that next year." And he goes like this, "Bro, you don't even have a bike, right?" And I go, "Bro, details." But the trained for 1 year, did 5 Ironman competitions after that, and yeah, just get boo rugged, bro. Don't let anything stop you. The only thing that stops you in life is yourself. Unless you have an illness or something like that, that sucks, bro. This is freaking shitty. And there's nothing you can do about it, and fuck. So there's that too. And I'm very familiar with that as well. And it's shitty.
Dad, are we going?
Yeah, we're going.
I wanna go.
Too bad you're going. We're all going. We're gonna tear it up out there, man.
Aaliyah, look what I can do. Aaliyah, watch me, ready?
It's gonna fall. Oh yeah, you're gonna swing it.
All right, here we go.
I got it. Aaliyah,
Yeah, dude, ASVAB. I never taken the ASVAB. The Naval Academy, you just got to get into that school. Flying fighter jets, I think you got to go to college and follow on school and all that good stuff. That's another freaking thing altogether, man. Fighter jets. I thought about it, then I went to Nutsberry Farm, went down one of those big, the free fall, and I was like, yeah, this is not happening. You stay on the ground. So I went ground, Marine Corps instead. Safer. Or was it? I don't know about that. Might have not been safer, but definitely I could handle walking far. All right, one more fly, you guys, and then we're out of here. All right, finishing up whip finish. Hey, you guys should clean the kitchen. Because you guys are going to do it now or later. All right, here we go. I'm going to trim this up. I'm going to put the epoxy on it. All right, here we go with the epoxy. This is done. And I'm going to pretty much be done with this video, and I'm gonna tie the next one up fast. I'm gonna get out of here, but basically that's the Ghetto Superfly for you, how to use it, how to tie it, and hopefully it helps you when you guys are out here doing it yourself, or you guys hire a guide. There's a few guides out here that you guys can hire. Big Island, Maui, Molokai, Lanai, and Kauai. maybe not Lanai so much, but more Molokai, Kauai, Oahu. Oahu's got some unreal flats. You look at the Instagram that I have, and you'll see myself and Elias hooking a bunch of bones throughout the years. All right, here we go. So that's another one tied up. One more to go, and we are golden. Oh, that thing looks so good. All right, with that, guys, I'm gonna check out, and thanks for watching the video. Aloha, ahuiho.